Hello, good evening. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to Live and Conversation. My name is Daphnée Antoine.
And I am Daphnée Camilien.
Hello. Bonsoir tout le monde. Nom c'est Daphnée Antoine. Et nous là avec Attorney avocat Daphnée Camilien. Comment nous y est? Daphnée, comment y
Hello.
est?
I'm well.
Yeah. So this evening live and conversation is to basically explain the recent immigration news with respect to the humanitarian parole that has been, I guess, extended for Haitians, Cubans, Nicaraguans, and
And
Venezuelans. Yeah. So, aswa la nou pral pale, nou pral repon kesyon sou zafè humanitarian parole ke President Biden te bay pou Haitien, Dominicain, I'm sorry, no, not Dominicain, Haitien, Cuban, not Dominicain, Cuban, Nicaraguan, avec Venezuelan. Ok?
Yeah.
Sa ve di ke sou gon kesyon, vin pose kesyon avek avokat Daphnée Camilien aswaya, si gon bagay ou ta men klarifiye, pose kesyon ou, epi nou men nou pral fè konversasyon epi nou mando sou te ka ren nou an servis, pataje live lan pou ke nou ka ede plis moun avek kesyon yo. Okay, so let's get it started. But before we do, always our disclosure.
Sure, my name is Daphnée Camilien. I'm an attorney. Anything I say this evening does not enter myself or the person listening in any type of attorney-client relationship. Daphnée Renee is a financial entrepreneur. Anything that she says this evening does not enter her in any type of fiduciary duty with anyone listening. The information that we are saying tonight is for information purposes only. Back to you, Daphnée.
All right. So we're just going to have immigration news this evening. So again, this is Attorney Camilien. I'm going to post her information. So how about I have you give maybe a brief explanation about what the humanitarian parole is, and then we go answer a question. How does that sound?
Sure. So right now, recently last week, the 6th, I believe, the Biden administration announced that he would be extending humanitarian parole. This is allowing people, in the past, the government has allowed people in the United States to apply for people in other countries to come here briefly to work and to be here, and then to be admitted lawfully into the country, and when the parole ended, for them to leave. So the Biden administration, what was happening, as most people know, what's going on at the border, where lots and lots of people are coming to the border. They are trying to reduce the number of people coming to the border. So they have extended humanitarian parole to 4 countries. Venezuela already had it, but they're including them in this group. So we have Haitian nationals, so people who were of Haitian origin. We have Venezuelan nationals, we have Cuban nationals, and Nicaraguan nationals. And so they have said that effective immediately, that 30,000 people per month from those 4 groups. They didn't say how many, but if they're doing it equally, it'd be 7,500, but we don't know for sure how many. But they said 30,000 per month is they're going to allow into the country under humanitarian parole. And we're going to talk tonight about who can apply, how does this work, how to apply, things of that nature. And if I'm asking anybody who has any questions to please write in, and we will try to answer, or I'll try to answer as much questions as possible before our time is up this evening. But that's the background of it. And the whole point of this was to they're trying to reduce the amount of people that come to the border. They're trying to give people a legal way who normally would not have a way to get here for a couple years to work, with the idea that they would go back after they've worked a couple years in the country, and they would go back to their country, hoping that this will deter people who this is their not everybody's happy with this, but hoping that this would deter people from going through horrible conditions to come to the Mexico border, and then try to come into the United States. Back to you, Daphnée. Oh, you're on mute.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you for giving us the brief overview about this program. I'm sure it's welcomed by many, and as you just said, maybe by not others. So that being said, I know there's a lot of I guess miscommunication or wrong information being shared, and people want to know the facts exactly. Obviously people don't want to waste the time, and obviously people with family, whether that be Haitians or Venezuelans, they do not want to give the family members or friends false hope. Okay, so I guess my first question is, let's clarify who is eligible to be a beneficiary.
So the people who are eligible to be beneficiaries are nationals of the 4 countries: Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, and what did I miss? Venezuela.
Cubans? You said Cuban, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and Venezuela.
In Venezuela. Okay. And then, so that being said, uh, does a person like I guess a petitioner? What do we call a petitioner, right? Or no?
So they refer to people as supporters and beneficiaries.
Supporters of the beneficiaries.
Right.
So what does the relationship needs to be to I guess support a beneficiary?
So anybody can apply for anyone. With that being said, a person you just have to be a person that's in the States. So if you're in the United States, and you can apply for someone who is in those. So if someone is sitting in Haiti, you don't have to be related to them. You can be a friend, a neighbor. An organization can sponsor a person as well. So that's very different than a lot of immigration processes, where they ask that only immediate family, which means usually mother, father, sister, brother, and child is usually what it is. But in this case, cousins, uncles, neighbors, friends, they can apply for anybody who is in those 4 countries.
Okay. So, and then what do they apply with?
Oh, did you want to translate or no? That's up to you.
Ça c'est en live avocat Daphnée Camilien avec m'a fait assoya nom c'est Daphnée Antoine pour nous répondre questions sous affaire Humanitarian Parole que président Biden offre avec 4 nations nous connaissons ça déjà. So si vous avez une question, nous invitons pour venir participer dans live ça. Parallèlement après ça, vient poser une question, kounye là. Ça veut dire que Attorney Camilien juste répondre pour nous kounye là, n'importe monde qui a appliqué pour un monde qui est en Haïti. Pour moun en Haïti, n'importe monde, ou pas besoin famille moun nan, ou ka un zami moun nan, ou ka appliquer pour moun nan. Mais et si moun nan pas Haïti, on nous clarifier ça. So what about if the beneficiary, right? The beneficiary is not currently living in Haiti. So only immediate family members then can apply for them?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah. Okay, ça veut dire que si moun nan Haïti, n'importe moun ka appliquer pour lui. Mais si li pa Haïti, faut que son moun qui famille moi c'est supposé immédiate la madame petite maman bagay ça yo ou ka aplike pou moun nan. Okay, so I also read a part about if the person currently has, I guess, refugee status in a different country and they're not eligible. Can you clarify about that for me?
What do you mean? The refugee, like if they're
Like if they currently,
like they gave up
if they currently like sought refugee status. I mean, like there's some people maybe living in different countries such as Chile, Brazil, and then so. As a matter of fact, I can go to the USCIS. I just read that, and then so I wanted to maybe clarify whether they're still eligible, either if a immediate family member would like to apply for them.
it's possible, but it's possible.
It's
I
possible.
don't. There's a lot of things that are loaded in that, right? So, but it's possible.
Hi, Christine. Thanks for joining us. She said, "Parle créole." Nou nan pale kreol, men pou moun yo vini, pou moun yo pose kesyon bagay sa yo, kompon? So, okay. Okay, so what is needed to apply? Ki sa moun yo bezwen pou yo aplike?
Okay, so there's a couple things. You have to go to uscis.gov. You have to apply using an application, I-134A application. The application is only available online, and you have to have a valid email address. If you're a supporter, only supporters can apply for beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are the people in the other countries, or the supporter, or you can call the supporter a sponsor. The sponsor, there are certain things that they need to have. For example, they have to have, I have 5 things that they, this list is not the end all be all, so there could be other stuff, but there's 5 things that they should really consider gathering together as they're doing their application. Proof of immigration status. So what does that mean? What's your immigration status for the U.S.? Are you a citizen, born or naturalized? TPS? Are you on TPS status? Are you a green card holder? You're going to have to show proof, right? So you have to have a copy of your passport, birth certificate, naturalization, green card, TPS information, etc. Your proof of employment, right? One of the things they ask you is proof of employment, a letter from your employer stating your start dates, the title of your position, the salary, and whether your position is permanent or temporary. Proof of assets. So if you have a bank account, they'll want to see the bank account. In some cases, they're saying they need bank account. They ask for a letter from your bank account with your current balance, the day you opened the account, and the beginning balance. Proof of assets. Another thing is check stubs. Most people don't get paper checks. They get, like a direct deposit, but they'll maybe get the stub, or they have access to the information online. Proof, a couple months of proof of that, this is the salary you're making. They can see that just based off of the proof, check stubs. And the 5th thing is taxes, right? They're going to want to see a copy of your taxes. They ask for the tax transcript. That's a little bit different, and I don't know how strict they are. It says tax transcript. If you have just your taxes, that may be acceptable, but they do ask for a tax transcript. You can get a copy of your tax transcript at irs.gov, irs.gov. If you filed taxes last year, you can pull it, within a couple minutes by going. They do ask you questions. You have to fill out stuff, but you can get a copy of your tax transcripts. So those are things that all have to be uploaded to the system if you're going to apply. And for the beneficiary, they need a updated passport That's very, very important. If their passport is expired, they need to go renew it. If they don't have a passport, they need to get a passport, but they need an updated passport. They themselves need a email address because they will be emailed. So they need an email address as well. They need to check the email address. They will need, if they have assets like a home or anything of that nature, they can provide proof of the value of that home. Or if they have any type of bank accounts and they want to provide proof that they have assets in their country. It's not, if that's something that's available, that's not going to be available to a lot of people, but that is something that if it's there, you may want to provide that. What else do they are asking for? COVID vaccination. If a person has been vaccinated and has, that would be great. If they have proof of their vaccination, that's, once you get approved. And also, once you get approved, they want to know about if you've had the proper medical vaccinations, that the U.S. has certain vaccinations that they ask that people have. They're going to want to see that information. So those are just some of the things that are needed. But it would be greatly, and then the application is about 14 pages long. They ask you just general stuff, name, but a lot of stuff, name, address. You need the address of where the person lives in that home country, their phone number, their email address, as we stated, things of that nature. But the biggest things are going to be setting up that USCIS account, so you can go ahead and do the application, as well as uploading the documents that they ask you for. Back to you, Daphnée.
Okay, so you're going to have to help me out.
Oh, I gave a lot. That's right. I gave a lot.
To repeat. And then you can also add them in the comments for me too, please. Exactly okay. What's needed. Avocat Daphnée Camilien so dit nous ça nous a besoin pour nous faire application. Pour nous faire application, c'est seulement online, électronique lié. Ça veut dire que il faut créer un account USCIS dans uscis.gov pour que vous puissiez faire application. Forme nan relé I-134, okay? C'est I, right?
You're right. I-134A. Because there's an I-134 and then there's I-134A. So you're right.
Thank you for clarifying that. So it's a I-134A, okay? Gon A derrière li. I-134A. C'est forme ça que vous avez besoin pour profil, ok? Vous avez besoin de passeport moun, ok? Say green. Talking about green card?
Right. If the person who's filling it, they should be able to show their immigration status.
Yeah. So vous avez besoin de passeport moun qui haïtien pour faire application pour lui. Ou même qui a fait application, vous avez besoin de montrer que ou gain autorisation que ou vivre dans pays légalement que pour appliquer pour yo. Ça veut dire que si c'est américain on peut mettre information naturalisation ou sous green card ou besoin mettre information green card là et pour ka bail que statut. Même sous TPS ou ka appliquer pour mon tout et même sous dans asylum ou ka appliquer pour mon tout. OK? Si you approve, right?
Yeah.
For the asylum, it's only if it's approved.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, the TPS is they can apply.
If it's approved, not pending. It has to be
pending.
Approved.
Okay.
Right.
Sous get TPS, c'est pas juste application non for elle-même ou ka appliquer pour mon nom. Ou a besoin yon lettre nan men employé ou pour dire OK ou travail là et mais combien cob ou fait. OK, parce que si ou a besoin pour montrer que ou gen assez ressources pour ka aider moun nan pendant la vivre là et pendant la vivre ici avant là. OK, ou a besoin aller dans banque pour demander yo bank statement qui l'autre ouvert account là et combien cob ou gen la donne. OK, et puis wap besoin montrer et check stop là tant qu'on là touché qui montre mais comment vous faire bagay ça yo wap besoin ça tout. OK?
Taxes is the last
Oui,
one.
et puis taxo. Mais taxo, m konnen ke lè ke moun ki fè taxan pou an li bo papier c'est vrai ou ka utiliser ça oui, mais li meilleur si que wal nan irs.gov pour prendre un tax transcript et ça au besoin. Ça veut dire que tax transcript là c'est ça même qui certifié que c'est comme ça que ou fait. So c'est ça IRS by là. Okay. Christine X, do you need to upload passport from Haiti? Like the person passport?
Not at this time. So what you need though is the passport number and the expiration date. But that's all you need right now. It doesn't mean later. They are going to ask for a picture of the person, biometrics of the person once it's approved. But just for the application purposes, you need that passport number and expiration.
Pour kounye la ou pa bezwen, I guess, upload ou bien, pour pas besoin montrer et passeport moun nan, ou pas besoin pour konya. Peut-être au futur ka besoin, mais pour konya li pas nécessaire, mais ou besoin numéro pour mettre. I actually just saw a video regarding, I guess there's a glitch or technical error in the application system because some Haitian passport, I guess the previous passports were like the PP,
Right.
But then now the Caribbean passport is only one letter, and then so I guess it's only eight characters versus the 9 characters that the system is requesting.
No, what happens is it's still 9. It's still 9 characters. What happens is it used to be PP. And so now the passport numbers used to start PP and then it would be 7 digits afterwards. Now the new passports have one letter like R, T, S, and then it has 8 numbers. When you submit that, it will say error, right? And then but you keep submitting it, right? And you'll review your you can review the application at the end and make sure it took it, because that happened to a client of mine and I was able to submit it. But if you're concerned, if a person is concerned that it didn't go through, they can just upload a document. They can upload the picture of the passport, or they can type a quick letter and say the person's passport. They can do a Word document and say, Suzette's passport is, T blah 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 blah, and then just upload it into the file.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah, and I think the person was also kind of saying similarly what you are saying. There's also an additional comment section,
right?
And then you just include in which area or in which section that you want to add additional comments, and then you can include it there. So if you are having this issue, this is kind of like the easiest way to solve it. Also COVID test. So basically formule yo get to vaccination yo qui inclut vaccin COVID là, okay? It's important.
If they can. They recognize that's not feasible for everybody. So if they can, like if you're every country, that's not feasible. So that may be something that they ask you to try to do before you come, or as soon as you come, or within a certain amount of time when you come. But it is highly recommended.
Yeah, it's better to have it, than not. Okay, so then what's the next process? So now a person actually went and filled out the application. Like, what should they expect now?
Okay, so they will get a receipt, an email saying check your account, and then once they check their account, they will get a receipt with the receipt number, and then they just have to. That means it was accepted, and they have to wait to see if they hear anything else. They can there will be a section at the end of that says if you want to upload additional documents, you can. They may look at it, they may not. They will look at it. Excuse me. They will look at it if they deem it necessary. So understand that. That's good if and also if there's missing some information. Not to say that you should do the application and miss information, but if they want more information, they will reach out to you and ask you for more information. Back to you.
So ça veut dire que lè qu'on fin voye aplikasyon an, yo pral verifiye li, et ya voye email ba ou, courrier électronique ba ou pou yo djou ke yo resevwa li, et puis pou si ke yo bezwen lot informasyon tou, ya pantre en kontak avek ou. Did I say everything, Attorney Camilien?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So it's 9:07. So if anybody else have any questions, si gon moun ki gon question, bi on konen yon moun ki gen question ka fe nou konen, partager live sa pou ke lot moun ka konen ke nou la pou nou repon question. So let's talk about like right now the current situation with many Haitians who are currently maybe living in Mexico, who had the intention to travel to the U.S. So what is the situation like for them right now?
So no one who enters Mexico, Panama, or United States without authorization after January 9th, 2023 will be eligible for the parole program. It's not going to allow for parole also through a land border entry. Parole is for meaning that you cannot enter through land. They're looking at this, or sea. They're looking at this for people who are flying in, who've been processed and accepted into the program.
Ça veut dire que si que ou on moun ou konen ki deja nan Mexique ou bien nan Panama ou bien kote liye ya, depuis c'était après 9 janvier ou bien après 9 janvier, le pas possible pour moun sa traverser dans les États-Unis et puis pour quitter le rete. OK? Faut que n'importe moun qui t'a besoin venir États-Unis faut yo appliquer pour application ça. OK? Faut yo faire application ça. Pour yo faire connaître que gen moun et dans Amérique là que yo connaît qui fait application pour yo, qui paraît pour quitter ou venir habiter avec yo. Parce que programme ça c'est pas pour traverser à pied ou bien c'est pour monde qui pour voyager dans avion qui pour venir États-Unis. OK? Ça veut dire que on n'a pas débarquer sur Mexique ou bien sur l'autre pays parce que yo pas quitter nous entrer et yo pas quitter nous arrêter.
I want to also clarify, because I think I said it wrong too, about and then just read what it says directly from USCIS and then kind of break this down about immediate family and traveling. So USCIS says an individual is ineligible to be considered for parole under these processes if that person is a dual national or permanent resident or holds refugee status in another. We were asking about refugee status in another country, unless DHS operates a similar parole process for that country's nationals. This requirement does not apply for immediate family members. In this case, they're considering immediate family members to be a spouse, common law partner, or unmarried child under the age of 21, under the age of 21 of an eligible national of Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, Venezuela, and who are traveling, and with whom they are traveling. So, sorry, you want to translate or no?
No, go ahead.
Okay, so it's saying that people who are in, let's say you're in Brazil and you've been there for 15 years, you're a resident of Brazil, a permanent resident of Brazil, you're not going to be able to, someone in the U.S. cannot send for you to be paroled. Okay, typically. The only exception is if the person who is sending for you, for example, is your trap. If you are, let's say it's a husband and his wife, he's a Brazilian permanent resident, and his wife is Haitian, right? Haiti, and they're traveling together, right? They would be eligible to get the parole. Let's say he was in Haiti, he came from Haiti, he went to go visit her, they decided to do this, they applied for both of them. He would then be eligible because he would be with her because she's eligible, right? But he's only eligible because it's with his spouse, right? Just like a kid who's born in Brazil and parents are, and they're considered, let's say they were considered Brazilian, parents Haitian, they apply for parent and kid, right? Typically, kid is not eligible because they're considered Brazilian, but because their parent is Haitian and they're under the age of 21, that's the key, right? And they're traveling, then yes, they're eligible.
The wife include, like the spouse included.
Spouse and child, that's it.
Okay, spouse and child. So, and I'm just gonna repeat that in English so I make sure that I understand exactly what you just said. So basically, if a Haitian national is living here in the US and has legal status, whether that be a US citizen or a green card holder or TPS, and you have your immediate family member in, let's say, Brazil or Chile, right? This person has to be either a spouse or a child under the age of 21. Then you can, yeah, under the age of 21.
Unmarried child under the age of 21. Spouse can be any age.
So, yeah, of course. I was just talking about the child part.
Like,
no, that was in. So with that being said, so like typically this person will not have been qualified, but because they are either a spouse or a child under the age of 21, immediate family member, then they qualify.
Right, but
Yeah, go ahead.
Right, but the immediate family member, they have to be attached to another person who's getting parole, and that person has to be a national of the country.
Of which country?
A national of Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, or Venezuela.
Oh, then it gets complicated because then who's the I guess supporter? Who the supporter will be?
It can be anybody. A supporter can be a friend that's supporting a husband and a wife, but the husband happened to get, or let's say the more common situation is the supporter is supporting his sister, and his sister had a child in whatever country, or not sister. I'm sorry. The supporter is supporting their children or whatever, like or their whatever. The person that has to be, that's not, the whole idea is that you typically would not apply if you're born in another country, right? Or you're a resident of another country that's not Haiti, Cuba, Nicaragua, or Venezuela. But in this case, you're going to be allowed to because you're attached as a spouse or a child to an actual person that could be eligible for parole.
Okay, so basically, like for example, let's say I had a brother in a different, maybe in Brazil, and then he's Haitian, obviously, and then married to maybe a Brazilian, and then they had a baby. Then the wife and the baby qualifies because of my brother that's Haitian.
Right.
Okay.
Because the national qualifies.
Yeah. Ça veut dire que bagay yo fon ti komplike. Se sa k fe fò pale avek yon moun tako avokat Daphnée Camilien, ok? Si moun nan non lot peyi ke li pa ge statu haisyen, ok, ke li gen dub citizen, an di li gen statu haisyen, epi li gen an di l Brazilien, faut que la compagnie avec un l'autre monde qui gen statut haïtien pour ka appliquer pour lui. OK, si mon nan gen l'autre statut dans pays lié ou pas ka appliquer pour lui sans que li pas connecté avec un l'autre monde ou un haïtien qui cap voyager ensemble avec lui. Good?
Yeah. Perfect.
All right. So let's talk about minors. What would be the process for applying for a minor, and how will the traveling process be?
Sure. So that's also a little bit complicated. So if you're applying for the minor and the parent together, each person has to have their own application, okay, individual application. If you're applying for, let's say, a mother and a son, and the son is under the age of 18, they have to be accompanied by their parent or a legal guardian, or a legal guardian, period. If they come to the U.S. and they are not accompanied by a parent or legal guardian, once they reach the U.S., immigrations, they will be held in, they will be put, I don't want to say the word custody, but they're not going to be, it's not going to be that simple for them, because they have to be put in a special division that has to do with protecting children and child trafficking and etc. So they're not automatically just going to be released into the person's hands, and then you have a whole other issue. There's a way to, they would have to file under the typical parole, I think it's I-131. They would have to file another different type of travel document for them if they wanted them to come. Let's say a minor under the age of 18. So there's a different process for that. However, if you're applying for a child and their parent, just understand it's two different applications. You might want to add a note saying that, I don't know if you want to do, there's different strategies. You may want to add a note saying that this is a child, and, you're also applying for the parent, and this is the parent's name, because the thing is, ideally that they would be approved together. But what happens if son is approved and mother is not approved? What then? Right? You do also have 90, what I've been told is, like, once it's approved, you have 90 days to travel to the U.S. So 3 months. So maybe, hopefully, if one's approved, the other one will be soon. But just keep that in mind. I would still say, hey, this person is traveling. This person's a kid. They're traveling. They have a parent, and that's also being applied for.
Okay.
It can't hurt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Si ke nou ta vle aplike pou an ti moun, prosesus lan diferan. A cause que ou konen fon yo proteje ti moun pou zafè traffic la, ok? Ça veut dire que gon différentes formes pour ti moun petit qui pi l'âge pi bas que 18 ans. Forme ça c'est I-131, right?
Right, if they don't have a parent to travel with.
Si yo pa gon parent qui pour voyager avec yo. OK, si c'est pour celle ti moun nan wap aplike, gon différentes formes pour ça à cause que yo pa vle ti moun vini ou konnen. Ça veut dire que faut que yo aplike pour ni ti moun nan ni parent. OK, si que ou gen accès avec un parent ou aplike pour ni ti moun nan ni parent. Mais ça va garantir que yo pral bon ni ti moun nan ni parent en même temps. So, yo bo 90 jours, on tout a fait tout des applications yo, ni ti moun ni parent, yon ta approuvé, ou ge 90 jours pour que moun nan voyager. So, ka pon ti temps toujours pour wè que si yo pral et approuvé parent tout. Parce que la plus facile si yo tout de voyager ensemble, parce que yo pa vle ti moun petit voyager pour compte yo. Anything
No, you got it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. And then si son processus kon so a fè, ou gen deux options. Ou ka juste mette nan application que ti moun sa son ti moun liye, ou ap aplike pour parent tout, mais non parent, mais confirmation reçu parent. OK, pour ka fè ou konnen ça. Yeah.
That's
Maybe
perfect.
that's it.
Yep.
Maybe that's it.
And that
Well,
would be in the comment section, right?
yeah,
Remember the extra part, right?
yeah, in the comment section now. Well, it's 9:20. Si pa aucun moun ki lot moun ki gen question, ou bien ou ta besoin entrer en contact avec Attorney Camilien, numéro li c'est 847 410 90 22, 847 410 90 22. Ou bien on ka entrer en contact dans camilienlaw.com. camilienlaw.com. Christine says thank you very much. You are welcome. Do you have any additional question before we go? Any last thought?
No, I think we hit it. I do actually.
Yeah.
So as with immigration, things are always changing. So some people should keep in mind this is 30,000 a month for 4 countries. There is no expiration date as to how long this program can go for. It can go for a year, 2 years, 5 years. It can go for another week. We don't know. We don't know if they can expand the program, if they'll decrease the program. If somebody sues, you know that could halt the program. So I would just, if this is something you're interested in, go ahead and start the process immediately. You can set up your account at USCIS. If it's going to take you a couple of days, every time you work on it, it saves your work. So you can come back to your same application, just start and get your application in as soon as possible. I imagine because so many people are talking about it, there's been so many, so much information that's been out there that a lot of people are going to be applying for this benefit. And if this is a benefit that you think a family member or friend or someone that can benefit from it and you'd like to do this, I would tell you do it quickly.
Programme ça son programme nous pas connaît combien de temps la payer ou comment ça nous là nous pas pour combien de temps il est là. Ça veut dire que si son programme est intéressé pour participer là-dedans, nous encourageons faire commencer l'application immédiatement parce que à n'importe moment yo pas me connaît yo ka suspendre. So commence l'application même si pas gain tout bagay yo commence l'application et chaque temps ou met ton bagay la bonne opportunité pour save li. OK? So et commencer application pas pattern parce que pas connaît pour jusqu'il le programme ça là. Christine says, what is the income guideline?
That's right. So there is an income guideline. That's a good question. There's actually a chart. So if you go to USCIS, let me see if I can find it. But there is actual chart of how much it's that they're asking, right? So if you have a certain amount of people in your household, they're looking for people to make a certain amount of money, and that is, I'm trying to see if I can find the income.
I think I'll find something. Let me see if I can, if you agree with it.
There was they have what they call a poverty.
In the I-864P22.
Right. So if that's the guideline, that's typically what they use for the affidavit of support. So this is, so hold on, scroll up a little bit and just make sure it's for the 48 states, right?
Yes, yeah, it is. Okay, for the 48 contiguous state.
Perfect. So if you sponsors, household size, 2 people, you're not, the first part is usually for military, and then so they're looking for people to have $22,887. That's how much they make a year. For 3 people in the household, 4 people, 5 people, how many people are you adding to your household? And so if you're two people and you're adding a one more person, you need to be able to support them. $28,787 is what you would need to make. Or see, there's other. So this is the thing. If you don't, there's ways to kind of come up with this. If you are a household of husband and wife, you can show, if wife works, husband works, you can show check stubs of how much they're going to make, how much they're going to be. So if husband sponsors a person, but wife is going to, her paycheck is going to contribute, they will ask how much money the other household members are contributing, the names of the people. You would list the names of the person. If you lived with, your brother, your sister, your cousin, everybody works and everybody's going to contribute this amount of money. Then you would upload their check stubs as well to show that that everybody's going to be contributing to sponsor this person. If you have a home and your home is worth a lot of, or not say worth money, but you have a lot of equity in your home. If you have recent appraisal, you need to show proof though, right? So you can't just say, yeah, I got a house and my house is worth, $100,000. You're going to have to show. That's a little bit more difficult. You'd have to get an you'd have to show proof of an appraisal of the value, and then, how much the mortgage is. So it could not be difficult. It just depends on what's going on and how easy you can get it.
So I don't think Hawaii and Alaska are excluded. They just have a different guideline, which I can pull up as well. Is that a question?
Yeah, their actually prices are their guidelines are higher.
But because of the cost of living.
Right.
They have a higher cost of living.
Yeah. Right? I should say that this is for people who live everywhere except Hawaii and Alaska. Because if you are in Hawaii, then I'd love to be there too. But if you are if you are in Hawaii, yeah, your income guidelines, or in Alaska, your income guidelines are going to be higher. And there's a separate, as Daphnée said, there's a separate chart for you guys as well. But that's also available on USCIS, and you put in you can put poverty guideline in the chat, or the actual form is 864 PP.
I don't remember. I think so. Yeah.
Right. So so you can find it.
Yeah, it's right here. So I only pull up the 48 state now, but then if you need to see Alaska, it's right here, and then Hawaii is on the bottom as well. Okay. So just to clarify, the household size is your current the current people living in your house plus the additional people that you are I guess providing support for.
Right.
So, right?
Right.
Okay. Merci à Christine pour question so posée sous affaire combien quoi bon moun ta supposé faire pour les qualifier pour programme ça. So sou aller dans website uscis.gov gon form qui relè I-864P qui a dit exactement combien quoi qu'on supposé faire pour que ou ka appliquer pour un monde. Nan bord droite là, c'est pour non, tout le monde. Mais dans bord gauche, c'est pour moun qui nan armée, qui nan active duty. OK? So, sou pa nan armée, pas garder bord gauche là et bord droite là qui pour. OK? Et si qu'on pas ta fait comme ça yo mandé pour faire et ou ka connecter ou bien contribuer avec l'autre monde qui nan kayo, on dit que ou habiter avec un frère ou ka et puis nous tout de pour supporter mon nan ou montrer information combien comme nous chaque fait, OK, pour nous ka arriver dans combien comme yo mandé pour que nous faire. I think I said everything, right?
Right, but like I said, but they have to show their check stubs as well. Like, I mean, they're looking for proof. So everybody's check stubs have their address. You know, it would show that's the same address, the same household. Sometimes people have cash. Maybe they don't make a lot, but they have a lot of cash in their bank account. That show your what's that, bank statements. There's a lot of different things like as combination that can show that
montre combien kob ou fè, sou gen kob, sou pa fè pil kob tou, et pou men ou gen kob nan account ou ka montre sa tou. Et puis pour clarifier, lè li di ko sa ke combien moun ki la kayou an, wap kontrole ni combien moun ki la kayou et ni combien moun ke ou pal additionner ke wap aplike pou yo wa. So ça veut dire que si ke ou gen 4 moun la kayou et wap aplike pour 2 moun, ou supposé garder combien kob pour 6 moun, combien kob kaina ta supposé faire pour occuper 6 moun qui nan $46,487. Et encore si c'est le même pas fait comme ça, ou gen l'autre ou gen madame ou gen petite nan kala qui a travail qui a contribué, nous tout ka mettre ensemble pour dire oui, n'a peut supporter moun ça ensemble. Okay, I hope this answered your question. That's another question. Donne-moi. Okay, so Christine said, can you send the application and send documents later? Est-ce qu'on peut commencer l'application et pour voyer documentation vérifier pour vérifier sur dit après?
So I would not recommend that unless you had like 99% of it. And it depends what, right? So like if you have check stubs, your taxes, your let's see, check stubs, taxes, bank statements, a bank letter, a bank, let's say you had like 10 bank statements, but they asked for a letter from the bank. You didn't have the letter from the bank. You were waiting on that. But you had everything else. It's a gamble, right? They can accept it and then you upload it later. But they can also reject it for not having the documents, right? They say, and it tells you on the paperwork that not uploading the information may delay the application or reject the application. So that's a gamble that you have to take, an assessment. I wouldn't not send, like sending taxes is too easy to get. It's too easy. It's 5 minutes to get your tax transcript, right? Not sending your taxes, maybe they'd reject it because it's too easy. I can't say for sure, but it like I said, it's a gamble. You can make a determination. I wouldn't just submit an application with no documentation. You'll probably get rejected.
So, li pa une très bonne idée pour faire application, pour voir application sans documentation yo, OK? So si que on t'a 99%, ou vle prendre chance ou ka prendre chance mais ça pas un bagage que avocat suggéré. So li ta pi bon pour que ou gen tout document qu'on a besoin yo et pour voyer aller ensemble avec application yo. I said everything.
Perfect.
Yeah, I said everything. Okay. So I have Charlie Camilien. Is it an obligation for the person you sponsor to live with you? Est-ce que son obligation pour moun ke wap aplike a pour moun sa vive avec ou?
Okay, that's a great question. So the person that you sponsor does not have to live with you when they come here. However, you are saying that you're going to take care of their expenses. So the ideal would be understand this: if you're testing and you're swearing you're going to take care of their expenses, and they come here and they go on government assistance and they do all those things, you may be responsible for that in the long run, but they are not obligated to stay in your home, though. Just keep in mind, they're not obligated to stay in your home, but you are obligated to assist them while they're here, right? But the idea also is that they're coming here, they'll get work, and hopefully be able to, be able to, enjoy that as well.
I hope that answer your question, sir. Let us know if you have any additional question. But we're going to wrap it up maybe in the next 5 minutes. So that being said, moun nan, si ou ap aplike pou an moun nan pa oblige vive la kayo. Men desko te fe aplikasyon wan pou di konsa ke ou responsable pou moun sa, ou responsable pou moun nan. Ok? Sa ve di ke si ke moun nan ta ale pren asistans gouvernement, ou ka ven responsable pou sa. So se yon bagay pou ke mette nan tèt que non, moun nan bagay pou vive avò, mais oui, ou gen obligation pour prendre soin moun sa, et c'est kon sa liye. Et puis, gen, moun nan yo pral ba yo papier pour yo travay, mais son application liye. So let's clarify. I know the application, the I-134A is free. Nonetheless, we have to, I guess, prepare people for maybe expenses they may not be aware of, going forward with the application. So are you for sure, or are there gonna be maybe medical testing required, background check? I know there are fees for that. What else? And I know when the person comes to the US to apply for the work authorization, there is also a fee for that, so that people can, have the game plan ready to actually have savings to take care of those expenses.
Right. And so you're absolutely right. So there may be fees associated. They do want some type of medical examination. There's fingerprinting that's going to be done. There is also the big thing that we didn't talk about: who's paying for the plane ticket for the person to come here, right? Maybe they can.
That's understandable.
I mean, the idea is that they're supposed to pay, I guess, for their own plane ticket, but I'm not going to go into that.
I saw that, yeah. Kind of like that. Yeah, I saw that, yeah.
That's the idea. But so the idea is paying for their own plane ticket. The idea is that, but when they get here, an I-765 application for work authorization is expected to file. They'll be eligible to file it. There is a fee associated with that. I don't know if that's going to be something that's
$410. I think I checked it. It was $410.
Right. And I don't know
as of today.
Right. And I don't know if that's something that's going to be waived. So like something that's going to be waived for people, but as it stands, it's $410. Can you do some type of fee waiver saying that you can't afford it? Yes, but should you? Because you said you were going to take care of the person that came here, and then you're filing a fee waiver. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go into, Yeah. So, yeah. So anyway, people I'm not going to even comment on it. I'm just going to say. So, but there is a fee associated with the work authorization as it is right now. I don't know. There could be. I don't know if they're going to do anything special for this group of people, but so far as I can tell, as far as I saw, nothing was done. The fee still stands for everybody, unless someone does a fee waiver. Okay. But you're right. There are, and it's not. There are costs associated.
Ok. Même si application gratis, mais faut nous mettre dans tête nous que pral gen kob pour nous dépenser pour si moun nan joine documentation parole ça, ok? Ça veut dire que kage examen médical pour moun nan fait, faut payer pour ça. Et puis billet d'avion moun nan mwen nous tout connaît, ça son bagay pour nous payer pour ça. Et puis les moun nan vini pour nous appliquer pour papier pour le travail, pour kounya, il semblait que faut payer pour ça. Nous pas connaît puis devant si a changer ça pour groupe moun sa yo, mais kounya son bagay que $410. So on prépare nous pour nous ka gen kob pour nous faire dépenses ça yo. Surtout si on va appliquer pour plusieurs moun. I had a question for you. I should have typed my question. I should have typed my question. I see. Let me see. Is there a new question? Oh yeah, that's a great question. You are responsible for that. I read it today. If unfortunately the sponsored person gets sick, or the sponsored, I think you mean the beneficiary.
Yeah.
I think you mean the beneficiary.
Yeah, sponsored
Yeah,
person, the person who's been
yes, get
sponsored.
sick
Yeah.
and go to a hospital. Will you be responsible for the bill? Yes, you will. But I'm not the attorney, so definitely answer it.
Yeah, because you're supposed to. Oh, my battery's low. Sorry. Yeah, you're supposed to be responsible for the person. So that is a yes,
Mm-hmm.
right? So especially for and that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's
people
something
get sick.
so that's something that should be considered if you're thinking about sponsoring 5 people.
Mm-hmm.
The medical expenses, um,
It says on the application.
right, or would be an application. So that's something to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
Not
gonna
the
move.
application. I think the Q&A. Si moun ou
Hold
aplike
on,
pou
I'm
li,
gonna mute myself for a second because my battery's gonna die. Hold on.
yeah, no, it's fine. Si moun ke ou aplike pou li an ta vin malade, epi la l'hopital, bil l'hopital la ou responsable pou li, ok? Sa paske nan aplikasyon ou di konsa ke ou responsable pou moun sa ou tan moun sa vini vive avec ou et wap responsable pour lui. Ça veut dire que tout ça le besoin ou responsable. En manger li ou responsable côté pour l'habiter ou responsable et nan ka kel ta vin malade li à l'hôpital ou responsable pour bill. OK? Bonsoir tout le monde, bienvenue, me dit nous toutes merci qui là dans live là avec nous, nom c'est Daphnée Antoine. Moi font conversation avec avocat Daphnée Camilien. N'a parlé sous affaire Humanitarian Parole que président Biden était pour Haïtiens, Venezuelans, Cubans avec Nicaraguans. OK? Sous une question, fait nous connaît nous le faire mais là parce que dans 2 minutes nous sommes supposé faire mais il 9h45. Partager live ça avec comme nous connaît et si vous avez besoin d'entrer en contact avec Attorney Camilien ou carrelé dans 1847 410 5092. Let me see if I did that correctly. Nope. 1847 410 90 22. 1847 410 90 22 ou bien aller sur camelianlaw.com. Merci pour toutes questions nous yo. Nous là chaque mercredi nous qu'on parle de différents bagages mais Attorney Camilien toujours là pour parler avec nous sous affaire immigration que ça a passé nous connaissons son bagage qui liquide qui a changé en tout moment so c'est ça que nous gain là avec nous pour faire nous connaître qui ça gain de nouveau. You back?
I'm
And
back.
she's back. All right. I wish I remember my question. It was so good though.
Oh no. Oh.
No. So with that being said, I think we can wrap it up, right?
Oh, sure.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you once again for tuning in. This was Live in Conversation with Daphnée Antoine and Attorney Camilien. We come live every Wednesdays at 8:30 to share information for you and your family to thrive. And Attorney Camilien also share immigration news with respect to what's happening regarding immigration. It's very fluid and things change at any time. So to just remind you, this program is not guaranteed. We don't know how long it's gonna be for.
Yeah.
So if you want to take advantage of it, hurry. Nous pas contre pour mettre un programme ça là. Si nous voulons faire, si nous voulons participer là-dedans, on nous fait vite. Et puis encore, so let's clarify that just because a person applied for you, even though the person qualified, let's say they have everything, regarding the qualification wise, like good income, or they have all the papers, the application is done correctly. Is that a guarantee that the person will get, approved?
No. We don't know. Like, remember,
it's only 7,500.
It's 7,500. So we're saying they didn't say that.
Yeah, we're assuming that. We're assuming they're gonna be fair and divided equally.
Right. We want to wish that the world is fair, and we want to wish that there's 30,000 people, eligible to get this benefit every month, and that 7,500 will be for each country. However, I guess if only 2,000 Haitian people applied, but 80,000 Cubans applied, you know what I'm saying? Like, maybe they would get more, people. But, right. So it just depends on how many people. But with so many people applying, I'm anticipating lots of people are going to apply for this. And with so many people applying, no, it's not guaranteed. It's probably, it might be first come, first serve. It may be looking at, one thing we didn't talk about is people who have pending applications. Can they apply? Yes, they can. I do say, depending on the situation, you may want to talk to an attorney just to kind of understand, if they're going to adjust their status, how to do that in the future. But can they apply? Yes, they can. Will that have any effect on where they are, or as far as like immigration? Like, we don't know who gets priority. Is it just first come, first serve? You qualify, boom, you're in, and next on. We don't know. What about if you're younger or you're older? You get, we don't know.
Ça veut dire que juste, même si ou ta appliqué et ou gen tout bagay ou bien, ou fait assez corps pour, on dit, pour occuper même 100 moun. Ça pas veut dire que ça pas veut dire que moun sa yo ap jwenn un bénéfice ça, OK? Nous pas connaît dans qui façon yo pral décider qui moun y prend et combien moun y prend dans chaque pays. So, l'on applique, et puis message ça plus ça moun en Haïti, autour si n'a pas de message ça, et moun qui site là pas gen aucun et li pas aucun pouvoir sous ka rentrer ou bien non. C'est ça le ka fait, c'est fait application et puis c'est gouvernement qui pour décider est-ce qu'il y a bon autorisation pour venir entrer, OK? Parce que en pile moun a appliqué pour programme ça et c'est 4 pays. Faut nous qu'à comprendre ça tout pas parce que application c'est garanti, c'est pas une garantie, c'est une chance, c'est une opportunité. Okay, well, that's it.
Said perfectly. Yep.
That's it for tonight. Thanks for tuning in. See you on next Wednesday. Bye for now. This was Live in Conversation.
Bye.
Bye. Charlie says, thank you. Merci pour les réponses. Thank you.
You're welcome.